Hey YouTube, guys, gals, anything in between. Um, I do know that my hair is a little bit messy right now, and that's because I showered last night and then went to bed. Um, but that's beside the point. I'm comfortable with it, so I don't care if you guys see my messy hair. I am coming to you today to talk about my current state of being. More gay people have been shot and killed ever since Pulse happened. It's like the crazies have, finally seen what has done, and Mateen, whatever the fuck his name is, I can't even remember, because I don't want to remember that person. I don't want to remember evil people. I can barely remember what Hitler did, other than put a bunch of Jews in furnaces and burn them to death. Um, but I don't want to remember him, and I don't want to remember the person who has screwed up our first Pride since our first official Pride month since gay marriage was legalized. So, but it feels like the crazies have seen what he did and have decided, hey, I should go ahead and do that because I'm a fucking douche and I want to go kill people and these people deserve to die. We don't fucking deserve to die. We are gay people. We're just like you. It's just the fact that we like the same gender. So, it has caused me to be afraid to go outside of my house at this point because I'm in a Republican state. I am in a state where you can buy guns on a whim. You don't have to go through background, well, you have to go through a very minimal background check to purchase a gun in Arizona. And I live in a partially sketchy part of town, as is. So I'm now afraid to leave my house. I'm afraid to do a lot of things. I'm afraid to continue writing. I'm afraid to... the only thing that I'm not afraid to do at this point is eat and play video games and work. Because if I do anything outside of those norms, I will end up dead, I feel like. And I don't want to feel like that. And I'm afraid that there are people out here, as Hannah Hartley said, there are people out there who, sit there and say that they care, but they don't actually really care because they're not doing anything about this. I have already tweeted to my senators, John McCain being one of them, unfortunately, and said, hey, we need better gun reform right now because at this point, people are getting killed. America needs gun reform, and you need to make that happen. And there was a huge filibuster by the Democrats in the House. I think it was last night or the night before, and they worked hard to get gun reform on the table, and they worked hard to get it passed. I don't know what became of it. I could look that up right now. Okay, let's see. It's a 15-hour-long filibuster. Let's see. No, stupid ads. We see.
We're here today
No,
to
I don't
see
want to
that.
listen to you. I'm sorry. So, let me see. And if you know what a filibuster is, it's essentially somebody staying at the speaking podium for as long as they can. They're not allowed to leave the podium. They can have other senators come in and take their place and continue your speech for you while you go use the restroom, eat, do whatever, and then you have to come back. Previous shootings were brought up, and at this point, I'm afraid that there are people out there who say that they're afraid, and they say that they want to help, but they don't actually help. They don't do anything. They don't do what I did, and what I'm going to be doing when I get my phone turned back on, and that is call your local senators and tell them that you want gun reform. You need to do that. You need to sit there and say, hey, I don't feel safe in my own country. We need change now. Canada hasn't had a mass shooting in 20 years. We had 6 over the last week. Actually 7, because another mass shooting happened at a vigil for the Orlando shooting, and they basically fucking open fired on a crowd out in the open, sitting there just trying to feel better about a mass shooting of people that should never have happened. And that's what makes me afraid, is that I'm going to be in a public place and somebody's going to see my fucking hair and they're going to go, he's a fucking fag and he needs to die. And then people are going to get killed. I don't want that. I don't fucking want that. I'm afraid for my life. I'm afraid for your life. I'm afraid for everyone's life. And I know that it's not in my control, but that doesn't stop the fear. We need change. So I'm asking all of you to call your local senators. Tell them that you want change. Tell them that shootings like this should never happen, because quite frankly, it should not be a question. An assault rifle should not be on the streets. It should be used in war, and that's it. It should be used by Marines, Army men, Navy men, whoever the else fuck in the Army uses it, but not an ordinary citizen. On a lighter note, I feel sad also because I'm going to be evicted from my apartment starting today. They're starting the eviction process. I'll have 30 days to move out. I'll be able to pay them for the late rent by the time, basically in 2 weeks, because I wasn't paid correctly this paycheck. But yeah, I feel like shit right now. So everything's just collapsing in on itself, and I don't feel like I can do anything right at this point. If any of you want to give me some money, reach out to me. I'll more than gladly accept the help, because quite frankly, I don't know what else to do. I hope that all of you stay safe, and I hope that we can all get our shit together and fixed. I wish I could bring myself to tears, but I can't cry anymore. I've lost the ability to cry, I'm sorry. But I feel like crying right now. And that's why my voice keeps getting lower and lower. Sorry. Have a great rest of your Friday. Have a great rest of your weekend. And I will see you next time. I won't physically see you, but you'll see me. Maybe. Bye.